Howdy there, brainstormers, real YouTubers. How are y'all doing today? So I thought we'd have another. It's been a minute since we did a real YouTuber talk, so I hope thanks for indulging me in this. The greatest lighting might not happening right now. I'm kind of chilling and waiting for the sun to get off work, so who knows when that'll happen. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to chat and share some knowledge and share some good old times about YouTube. So, a couple of weeks in as a YouTuber, as a monetized YouTuber, and some more things I can share with y'all, some more thoughts and impressions and things I've learned in this brief time as a small time YouTuber. I feel like I've been a YouTuber forever. I've been doing this for 3 years now, officially, working towards it. And as many of you know, as we talked about before, it's taken me those 3 years. And as of January 3rd of 2022, I finally got the 1,000 subscriber mark achieved. It was a long haul. It was a slow process. And like a lot of you, it is hard. It's difficult. It's a grind, as we've said before. It's definitely a grind, and it doesn't slow down once you get monetized. Honestly, it really doesn't. If you want to make any money, unless you're 10,000 strong or even more than me, I'm only like 1,100 or so. Um, you got to work. You got to put out content still. That's the best advice I can give you. You got to keep going. Um, do the best you can at least once a week, and try to get out there. If you're only going to get 40 to 60 so views per video, which is great. I'm not balking at that. I'll take it any day of the week. But if you're going to get that on average, then you're going to slowly grow, of course, hopefully. And I'm seeing that. Because YouTube's pushing your content out there. As a monetized YouTuber, they're trying to get you seen more because they want to be able to make more money off of you. And now that you're monetized, you can actually make some of that money back. And how does that look? How does that realistic? We'll talk about that a little bit. But if you do me a favor, guys, as a YouTuber, as you know, if you're a YouTuber, hit that button, guys. Smash that like button. Give me a like on this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below of these talks we have, these real YouTuber talks. If you have any questions on the next one, on the next YouTuber talk vlog, I'd like to do a Q&A. So if you have any questions on what it's like to finally be monetized or to finally be making some kind of ad revenue with YouTube, whether it's a couple of dollars a day or mostly a dollar or between $1 and $2 a day if you're lucky, on ad revenue, and that's over not just newer content, but that's typically more what's going to make the more money for you, the newer content that you're putting out now as a monetized YouTuber, or the older content you're going to make some money out of. Not so much for the shorts. The shorts are really only good for a few cents. I had a short recently go over 900 views, and shorts are still sporadic. Sometimes they'll go and they'll hit and they'll spike really well on the short shelf, and the only really good like watch hours and view time and stuff like that only really helps you when they watch it on directly off your channel. Most of the time, though, your majority of your healthy views and your eyeballs who are going to subscribe to your channel through the shorts are going to be from the short shelf. That's where they're most popular. But you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of the shorts, except for maybe subscriptions and views. But they're still worth doing, especially when you want to kind of bring more people to your channel and to keep your subscriptions going to the positive up and staying that way. So if you do me a favor, hit that like button. Like I said, look down on your bottom. If you haven't already subscribed, make my day. Make that red button gray and subscribe to the Brainstorm Challenges channel, because it really means a lot to this fluffy talking machine when you subscribe and when you keep subscribing. If they YouTube likes to pull shenanigans sometimes and they unsubscribe you, always check on that. But make sure you're continuing to be subscribed and hit that notification bell. That's something I forget to ask or to mention, but it's something we all should, as YouTubers, mention all those things so that remind people, hey, we need your support, we need your encouragement, we need your love, and your continued watchtude, if that's a word. But what is it like been now? So when you first get monetized and you submit for that partner program, it's a waiting process. It's like a lot of things, when you first get involved with something, you're going to get set up. But you have to meet certain, as we mentioned, thresholds with YouTube in order for you to make money that first month. They look at your ad revenue, they estimate it every day or so. You see an estimated ad revenue for the day prior, sort of a day or half delayed somewhat. And it's not really standard when they update that. Sometimes it can be 10 o'clock my time, sometimes it could be 2 a.m., but most of the time they'll estimate, depends on, a lot of different algorithmic factors, but they estimate how much you made. And the best day I've had so far is $3. I'm a small time YouTuber. I'm not even a mid-sized YouTuber, but I'm making some money. This is a passion of mine. This is a love of mine, as much like I'm sure it is with y'all. But it's good to finally be making something back from this after doing it some 3 years now, and have finally have achieved monetization, which I haven't done alone, guys. You like to be all I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. But in life, especially when you're a big fluffy guy, you're a southern fella, and you're really hard worker. I feel like I am. I want to be every day and strive for those positive goals. But you realize as someone doing YouTube, you can't do it by yourself. You cannot get to 1,000 subscribers by yourself. You are reliant on other people supporting you and encouraging you, and you find that you need that more and more and more and more. Not just because you get to 1,000 subscribers, you still maybe can not have to worry about getting subscribers so much, but you still want that. You still need that for your growth of your channel, because the more people you have supporting your channel, the better revenue you'll get, obviously, and the more views and the more encouragement you feel, and it does feel wonderful, and that raw potential is still paramount. So you could be a YouTuber for one day with one video, and overnight, potentially that one video can shoot you up to thousands of views and hundreds of subscribers just one time. The raw potential is the most high that you can feel as a YouTuber. It's like that's why I want to put out a video every day. That's why I want to put out a video every day, if possible. Whether it's a shorts content and a regular video like this one, or whether it's one or both. I want to try to tap those markets and feel that high every day with that one. You never know when that next video is going to go real well or not. And that's fine. And but you can't win if you don't play. You're not going to potentially achieve viral success if you're not trying, if you're not doing it. So it takes first and foremost work. You got to consider your audience. You got to consider, I'm a writer. I have an English degree, if you didn't know that about me. My bachelor's degree is in English, and I love to write. And it's still a passion of mine, and I think that it's helped me immensely come up with good creative ideas, and especially initially to come up with a good niche, and it did take me a good year and a half, really, to feel out where I wanted to be as a YouTuber. If you look at my earlier content, I started out in one vein and kind of scattered all over the place. And that's probably a good advice as a new YouTuber, to do a lot of different types of content, and feel like if that's the direction you want to go in. Because I can do how-to content, and this is how best practices content, and some, as I call them, skull snack hacks. It's like, here's something I know, and you can go back, and those are still there. I've not ever privated one video that I've made. I've made that decision a long time ago. If for whatever reason I needed to have deleted a video, I have done that a few times. But for the most part, any video I've ever uploaded from the beginning It's all still there for y'all to find. It might be a little tough sometimes. People tell me I find some contents, but I have a lot of different types of playlists out there as well. So you want to check all those out and see some of those earlier videos that I've done to try to kind of find myself as a YouTuber. I invite you to do that because, the evolution of intros and outros is interesting in and of itself. I finally got into a comfort zone with that. I feel like I like what I'm doing. Intros and outros should always be mechanical in the way that they perform the tasks they need to perform to introduce yourself, to kind of be some kind of comforting standard mechanism so that returning YouTubers or even new YouTubers can get the gist of your channel right away. But you don't want to bore them either. You want to have an intro that's like in and out, but energetic, fascinating, and kind of brands you as what your channel is about. I definitely highly recommend you spending time and getting an intro and outros the way you need them. And outros is even more mechanical, and depending on, you have that 20 seconds at the end of a video. So you want to have really 23 seconds. A little bit more maybe, but not that much more on an outro. Because YouTube, when you put a thing at the end to have like a pop-up to show, here's the channel, so subscribe, a little oval, a round thing, your icon that people see as your channel identity, and you can have that pop up, and then you can have like most viewed video and most up-to-date video people can click on, so outros are good for that reason. But who really watches the outros, So one good thing I like to do with the outros is like, my outro is about 23 seconds standardly. It's a little bit, it's the same kind of outro usually, but over the last year or so, it's been about the same kind of outro that I made myself. But there's templates out there. You can use programs with different outros to help you out there. Or you could just use, a little bit at the end of your video. If you record a few, 20 seconds or more extra talking, or just sitting there, and you can use that as well as any outro. But you can put those in there, and I put a little extra video, audio content, movie clips or TV clips that might relate to the video that I just showed, whether it's about ice cream. I might do an ice cream audio clip there so to keep people maybe listening or watching through the outro. So, your average viewing time on a video might be different, depending on how you can keep the audience attention. And I don't know whether I keep your attention right now or not. I tend to ramble on a bit, and go in all different directions. And this is the very optimal part of what a brainstorming session is about. A brainstorming session is like starting out with a concept or a problem and going, okay, we're going to circle that on chalkboard. This is what we're talking about. Or this is the subject we're going to write about. And then we're going to branch off with ideas from that starting point, and to come up with things to talk about, or things to solve that problem or that particular issue, or in a business, for example. Well, that's the essence of a brainstorming session or a brainstorm, is to go off in different directions, like I'm doing right now. But so you get set up as a YouTuber that first week. You're learning as you go. Really, your expectations can be one thing, because you've done your research, or you've asked other people who are monetized YouTubers, and they give you insight. And Robert, the fluffy bearded man's been invaluable to me. He's been very patient, answered my questions when I needed him. But the first thing I want to advise you that I made the mistake of, when you become a monetized YouTuber, and the first time it asks you, do you want to monetize all of your content? You say yes. I didn't at first for some reason. So I had to go back and do it in batches. But it wasn't that big of a deal to do it after the fact. But if it asks you to monetize your content, yes. Monetize every single piece of content you have in your library, because it is definitely something you want to have. You've done all that old content, you might as well make it work for you the best you can. But the thing I've learned too is, one of the surprises is, and then once you monetize all your content, they're going to arbitrarily decide that some of them are going to be, you won't know this either until this point, until you monetize all your content. Some of them are going to be arbitrarily dinged as low ad visibility. They're not going to really tell you why. And they have some kind of metric they use, I suppose. It's something to do with, I think, the subject matter that they deem about might be questionable. And how do they determine that? Do the description, I think, or the title, perhaps. Like pain videos, for example. I don't do with those that much. Or some kind of content they might deem unnecessarily limiting in terms of what the subject matter might be. Like they don't want a general audience to be advertised. Or it might be not as desirable to advertisers, this particular subject matter, for example. Might be not as lucrative. I don't know what the reasoning is, and I haven't really looked that much into it. But the Fluffy Bearded guy advised me, like, you can dispute those. They say low suitability, limited ad suitability. Go in, and not just at one time, but every so often. He's like, go, every couple of weeks, go through your library and see what they've done, because they said they'll do that out of the blue, something that was being fully viewed as ads, viability. They'll go in and ding it yellow and say, nope, limited, for whatever reason, whether it's somebody reporting it as such after the fact, because you can have trolls or some doofuses who like to jerk around with people and report your content as blah blah blah, and then they ding it, after the fact, even weeks later, as a yellow low viability. So you can dispute those, though. You can click on that and say, review, and they'll review it manually. Some YouTube minions and elsewhere in the world will view it manually, and usually in about a day or so, you'll get a response from that. And every one of those that even your live streams can get like this limited viability, ad viability. So you go in and look at your lives and your shorts and all that, and these are not copyright strikes. These are not dings in that realm, which you typically will get if you get those. If you put some kind of special, like music, will get you a copyright strike, and those are straight up. You either, if you have a copyright strike, it's not a strike against your channel, because you get 3 of those and you can get knocked out as a YouTuber. You get your channel taken away from you if you get too many actual really big dings, where they give you a strike. These are just really, hey, you're not going to advertise it. You're not going to get ad revenue from these because you've got some music or some kind of content in there that we deem somebody else is owner of. Now you can do one or two things with those. You can go and replace the video or the audio or the music, or cut it out, or just private those videos. You might as well. I mean, if you can't change the audio, or if you can't alter it in a way that satisfies YouTube in that realm, which is, you can go back and do that after the fact. There's an editing tool within YouTube that allows you to do that. If you can't do all that, then you might as well private it, because why should you make somebody else money? Or you can keep it. It doesn't matter. It's not an actual strike against you. It's just an ad thing. And even as a non-monetized YouTuber, you can get those dings, those copyright dings. And anybody who's a YouTuber probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you will. But those low vis limited ad strikes, those yellow strikes that come up yellow, you could definitely go and request reviews on those. And I've always gotten favorable, because you're like, why is this being yellow dinged? And you don't know. They don't tell you. So it's just kind of like arbitrary, I think. Mechanical, the computer, and some kind of checks and balances, I guess, that nobody understands. But most of the time, you get an email back right away saying, we reviewed these, and we're gonna, and then they're gonna change them for you, and then there'll be regular content viewed. I had one recent video that's at least a year old, and it's the oddest thing. You know, we talked about CPA and RPA, that's your desirability, how much ad revenue the ad placers are going to pay. They've seen, you know, whatever. This older video, I think I did, it was the Vienna sausage and chocolate challenge that I did, that the old guy in Colorado challenged me to do. It was an older video, and it only got like 3 or 4 views. But in those 3 or 4 views, I made almost $2. I mean, no, it had a lot more views than 3 or 4 views. But in the ad revenue display that you can see how much each video has made, that one video had such a huge $100 CPA for some reason. I don't know why. That's interesting how, and it only got, like I said, 3 to 4, maybe 10 views in that time frame, that it made like $2 out of. And that's not a lot of money, but this is an older video, and it was kind of like, so little odd things like that can jump out at you, and you're like, why is this video, and it only has a couple of views, making a huge amount of money? I don't know why. Maybe that someone watching that video and the ad on that video actually followed that ad and bought or signed up for whatever thing was added. Maybe that is a metric that, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Maybe that is something that happens. But that is another surprise, you know. So all these different things. So you get set up in monetization. You get verified. They want to verify you as a real person. You know, like any other thing in life, when you make up to a certain amount, like $600 as an independent kind of business guy, person, a contractor, whatever you want to call it, when you make $600, it's some threshold that, I think as any kind of job, you're going to have to start taking out taxes, or they report you get a 1099 in here or whatever. And as a YouTuber, it's the same thing. You got to make that certain amount of money threshold to be able to really worry about the taxes part of it. But it definitely is an integral, important part of it. So you want to get that set up as well. And that's dependent on what state you're in, what your local tax bracket is, whatever, all that good stuff. But YouTube, you know, you get set up with that. You get all that stuff. The monetization button, that you've been your best friend as a YouTuber, as I mentioned before. Whereas you always went to it to see how many watch hours you had left, how many subscriber level you had left. Now, that's your best friend, because it also alerts you to whatever you might need to do to follow up and get the balls rolling, so to speak. As a new monetized YouTuber, that's important to do. You can go and find out all your levels of super chats, and you can go do different things like that. But I've got the most important thing scheduled, getting that PIN number. They send you that PIN number. It takes 2 to 6 weeks to get that PIN number. And that PIN number is really your address verification. Your address verification. So they send you this to your designated address. And, there's the Mighty Burger. They send you that PIN number, and you...
laptop in my back pocket.
That's awesome. You go in to get that PIN number. And, hey, welcome, big guy. We're going to finish this little vlog here. So just bear with me. He's had a hard night's work, it looks like. Ooh, what is that fragrance? It sounds like BO and cigars. You been smoking cigars again? No? Okay.
No, it was okay.
But in order to get your payday, you got to make $100 each month to get a payday from YouTube. So, but also in order to get your money, that even if you make it past that, you got to get that PIN number and put it in AdSense. And that's how you verify your address. The PIN number, every YouTuber knows, is the most magical thing. I just got my PIN number, and I'm going to leave that picture of that awesome thing here at the end and share that with y'all. But I want to report, I got the PIN number, I've got everything inputted. Now I just have to make $100 for this first month. And I think we're going to get there with y'all's awesome donations and y'all's awesome support through the super chats and super chats. People have been awesome about that in the live streams. So thank y'all guys. I think we're going to get that first $100 and actually get a payday next month. And it won't be until the end of May when we actually get that money. But I actually make that $100 estimated value, estimated revenue. And when I clear that, then they'll actually let me designate how I want to be paid. I can actually get a physical paper check through the mail, or I can get it which I'll probably will do directly deposit into my bank account. So those are some new follow-ups with y'all. That's some new vlogging type real YouTuber talk. So leave some cues in the descriptions and the comments below, and use some questions. And so we'll do the next real YouTuber talk as a Q&A, guys. So I need all of y'all's questions. Thanks for showing up, and I'm gonna take on home. And y'all have a great day. Have a blessed day, guys. And don't forget, enjoy the sunshine on your face, cool breeze on your back every chance you get. And as ever, as I try to always say now, be bold, stay hungry, play dumb. Thanks. See you later, guys.